Hey garden friends, it's July, and to some of you that may mean nothing but barbecues and backyards, but for us, we are super excited because we get to release the 2026 Proven Winners Annuals. So we have been growing these ourselves. I had the pleasure to test them out and trial them in my gardens at home, and I am so excited about these new varieties. At first, I was a little like, not sure about the colors. They're very pastel-y, but I'm in love. They glow from the garden. So I'm super excited to take you through and show you a couple of them. We have them planted in mono containers, in combo containers, and some hanging baskets, and a couple we even have in the ground here in our signature gardens. So I want to show you how they're growing, give you some tips and tricks. They will be in garden centers next year. However, we have an exclusive release of them. We have very limited numbers, but we do have them available on the site, provenwinnersdirect.com. So I know it's late in the game and most of us are already planted up for the summer, but we always have room for another container, right? We can never have too many plants, or just mark them down, save your faves for next year when you're shopping. I'm super excited, so let's check them out. First up, we have one of my top three. This is the Supertunia Cool Jazz. So if you know and love jazzberry, I call Cool Jazz her cool little sister. So obviously the color is much different. It's a cooler tone. It's that orchid pink purple color, stunning. And this was one that I was kind of unsure about at first, the color, just because I tend to gravitate more towards the rich saturated colors, but I fell in love with Cool Jazz. So what I did was I planted it along the back fence line, and there's a spot in my kitchen that if I look out, I can see the back fence line, and she glows. She glows from the ground. From the morning to the night, you can just see her sweet little color, and that is one thing that I absolutely love about this plant. And it was a pleasant surprise because I didn't anticipate that. So obviously you can tell, much cooler tone. It's got a lighter center. I think that's what really shines, you know, as the evening progresses, what really makes her stand out. If you love the habit of the jazzberry, this is very similar. As you can see, it's a very vigorous grower, very robust, lots of blooms. That's what we love. It grows the same way. So obviously it's an annual. It would act as a perennial though in zones 10 and 11. So you guys get a much longer growing season than us here in Michigan. Cool Jazz has a really nice upright mounding habit. She takes up a lot of space, up to 36 inches. So if you've got her in a container, it's gonna spill over. In the ground, it's going to fill up. So it's a lot of bang for our buck. We love that. The one thing that I noticed, I didn't get my trials until much later. I think it was end of May. So I didn't get them planted up not as soon as we did here at the gardens. So mine seemed to be a little bit slow to take off. I don't know, it's probably because we had a much cooler spring here in Michigan. We didn't really start getting the heat until about a week or so ago. So she was a little bit slower to take off. This Cool Jazz, on the other hand, did not have that same experience. So just as a heads up, you know, like most Supertunias, they really crave that summer heat. That's when they start to explode. So love Cool Jazz, highly recommend. Add it to your list if you don't want to add it now. Beautiful color, and when I say you can see her, she shines. That is the best part about Miss Cool Jazz. Next up, we have the Campfire Red Ember Bidens. Bold, bright, beautiful, and the best part, my favorite part, is that they're heat and drought tolerant, so we don't have to mess with them a whole lot. I have mine planted in the ground. They're doing fantastic. Obviously, they do really well in containers as well. They grow about 8 to 10 inches tall, and they fill out about 24 inches. So they do take up a nice chunk of space. I love them paired with any of the other Bidens. There's so many beautiful colors when they're all together. I love it. But the beautiful red around that yellow center just makes it pop. My thing that I think that I'm drawn to with the Bidens, outside of the fact that they're super easy to grow, but they're like that wispy, free spirit type of vibe. I love it with the Campfire Marshmallow, the white Bidens, so cute. The only thing that you need to worry about is planting this guy in full sun. That's what's going to provide the most bloom power. And again, like I said, very heat and drought tolerant. Mine really took off when we had the heat wave. I was super thankful. I am not as good about watering as I should be, and Red Embers is very tolerant of me. Super fun in combinations, as a mono, or in the ground. Campfire Red Embers. This beauty is the Shadow Storm Ipomoea. Ipomoeas will always have my heart. They were probably some of the first spillers that I ever grew. My mom taught me the beauty of a sweet pea, but I'm in love with this foliage. If you like purple, or if you like green, or if you can't decide, it has both, and it's stunning. And each leaf looks different. So no leaf is the same, kind of like a snowflake. Absolutely stunning. I love the way she grows. And if you've grown Ipomoea before, you know they are very vigorous growers. They can quickly and easily take up a combination planter. So what I did was I planted some in part sun and I planted some in full sun to see if that made a difference in how it grows. Because the ones that I planted in the part sun, if you remember earlier, I was talking about my window boxes. This was the fourth plant that I used. I used the Shadow Storm as the spiller. Stunning with the pink cloud and cool jazz. Absolutely love it. And if you're a Wicked fan, this is kind of like our alphaba. That was something that my daughter said when she first saw it. So with the pink cloud as your Glinda, anyways, super cute, super fun. So what I found was in my window boxes in the part sun, they don't take over. They aren't going crazy. They aren't eating up the other plants. Now in the full sun, I planted it in the back with Tiara Blue, some of the cool jazz, and I did an angel face blue. Stunning combination, but whoa baby, in full sun, this guy will take off and swallow things. I probably should have only done 2 Shadow Storms in that planter, but I did 3 to get a really good test. And in full sun, if you want it to explode and get giant, plant it in full sun. If you're looking to keep it contained and to play nice, part sun. So obviously the leaf color is the showboat, you know, but these are, Ipomoeas are easy to grow. They can spread up to 3 feet, so they take up a lot of beautiful space. Love, love, love Shadow Storm. All right, this one's my absolute #1 favorite of the bloomers. Anyways, this is Superbell's Magic Pink Grapefruit. It's a double. She's beautiful. So if you knew and grew the Magic Pink Lemonade, this would be like her cool little sister. Absolutely love this, and I didn't think that I would. First things first, again, not a pastel girl. Secondly, not hugely over the moon about yellow. Love it, beautiful, but just not one that I gravitate towards. This is my favorite. Stunning, stunning, beautiful double blooms. It's so cool because they're color changing. So they start off with that really pretty yellow. They kind of transition into both yellow and pink, and then they end up with this beautiful little pink color as it matures and transitions on. So fun, truly magic. Absolutely love the way these bells grow. I actually did a container of the double grapefruit and the pink lemonade together. So cute, in love, absolutely love it. It's like a tropical smoothie, right? I also did it with a pinkerific dahlia as the thriller. So cute. So again, like with most Superbells, this guy has a great, nice mounding habit, fills in a lot of space in your containers. I can grow up to 2.5 feet width at maturity. The one thing you want to not put Superbells in the ground. They are not as happy in the ground. They don't like having wet feet. We cannot control Mother Nature, even though many times we wish that we could. If there's a lot of rain and the soil gets saturated and stuff, takes a while to dry out, these guys get very unhappy. So they're great in your containers. This is obviously a mono. They look beautiful paired with virtually any color. I love pulling out that yellow. You can go crazy and add an orange or a purple or whatever you wish. Just easy to pair it with in your containers. Again, you could do a window box. hanging basket, they grow great in those. But I was truly, truly blown away with the double grapefruit, and I really think that you will be too. Try it this year or put it on your list for next. Superbell's Magic Double Grapefruit. Next on my list is the Mini Vista Pink Cloud. Again with the pastels, I was unsure, but I'm in love, completely sold out for this one. With all Mini Vistas, they're more densely branched, so it's like bloom explosion. The difference too between the Mini Vistas and like the Supertunias, the Cool Jazz, is this stays more compact. It's got a really nice tight habit, so they're not as much of a spreader. They still grow 2.5 feet. You know, sometimes you get lucky and you'll get 3 feet out of them, but they're a really nice mounded, densely packed habit. But they are covered in this magnificent color all season long. So I wasn't sure about Pink Cloud. Again, the pastels, it's not what I normally gravitate to, but this is my second favorite. And my first favorite's also a pastel. But I'm in love with the way Pink Cloud grows and shines. It's bright. Kind of reminds me of bubblegum. A little bit lighter, I think, and it has this beautiful white yellowish center that I absolutely love. I actually planted this in my window boxes with the Cool Jazz, the Pink Cloud, and the Rockin' Blue Suede Shoes Salvia. All pastels, stunning. I'm in love. I think it's my favorite ever. Normally I do Superbells in there, but I was like, you know what? We're gonna go for it. But again, just a cloud of perfect pink blooms. Really, really love this one. It's a Mini Vista. It's going to take off. It's going to explode just like all of the other ones, but I'm really, really enchanted by this new color. So add it to your list. Number 2 for me of all of the new varieties, Pink Cloud. Sweet Caroline Medusa Black. I love, love, love this plant. It has both the green and the black foliage, and I just love the shape of the leaves. So the key difference between this Ipomoea and some of the other Sweet Carolines is it has more of a mounding habit. So most of them are more trailing and spill over and trail down your containers. As you can see, this has a beautiful mound. So at home, what I did some in containers and I did some in the ground. So I put it in front of the Sweet Caroline upside, the Ipomoea that grows up a trellis, and so it has this beautiful mound in front, and it pulls some of that green, and then just the black is so striking. Loving it. In the containers, I paired it with the Maestro Coral. It's beautiful in some of the double vintage coral Superbells. Just a really like moody vibe. Love, love, love this plant. Super easy to grow. Like most Ipomoeas, you want to plant it in part to full sun. This guy will end up being about 2.5 feet wide. It gets about a foot tall. So again, that beautiful mound goes great in containers, great in the ground. Put it maybe towards the center or front of your borders in the landscape, just for some nice fill. Hardy. I did notice, one thing I will notice, a little tip. And I have one planted in complete full sun. This one area of my yard gets from sun up to sundown, it's just blasting. Typically by the evening, it gets a little sad. So I do have to water the one that's in full sun every single day. I try to train my plants to only water them every other day, but this guy does get a little sad. He'll bounce back up even if you don't water, but full sun like that all day. That's the only thing I noticed. Otherwise, so easy to grow. Sweet Caroline Medusa Black. This is Southern Blaze Bright Pink Phlox. Love, love, love this vibrant pink. As you can tell, you know, with most phlox, it's not a very vigorous grower. It's not going to be spilling over your containers or taking up a whole lot of space, but this one was specifically bred for our southern gardeners because it can take the heat. Most phlox tend to wilt up in the summer heat, the summer sun. This guy will thrive in it. So hence the Southern Blaze for the name. Obviously, my favorite part is going to be this beautiful saturated pink color. She pairs well with so many different things because of that vibrancy. You just want to be mindful that you're not pairing it with like a Supertunia. that's going to take over and swallow her up. She is a beauty and she needs her space to shine. So it looks really good with like a creeping Jenny as your spiller, does well with some lantana, not as vigorous of a grower. You can do plenty of different thrillers, really whichever one you'd like, but just a nice, beautiful heat and drought tolerant phlox, and the color. You cannot beat the color. Southern Blaze Bright Pink. The majority of the beauties that you just saw are available on our website. We do have a handful of more varieties that are there as well. All of the new 2026s that we could get our hands on. Keep checking because there are a couple that we weren't able to get just right yet, so they'll be added in a few weeks. But if you haven't yet, make sure that you like and subscribe to our videos, and also sign up for our newsletter through email, because that you will be the first to know anything, a new product drops, or if we're running sales, etc. So go to the website, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you enter your email address, because when the newer varieties load in a few weeks, we'll be sure to send an email for those. I hope you guys absolutely love these. I was very hesitant at first. It was not love at first sight for me when I saw them on paper. Growing them in the garden totally changed my mind. I'm in love. So excited for you guys to grow these at home too. Thanks so much for watching. Happy planting.